Alright, hi everyone, it's me back with season premiere of Dancing with the Stars, season 26, the short athletes, 4 week season, which makes no sense. I'm going to talk about all that at the end of this video because it's going to be pretty short. And why I'm just not here for this whole shortened season mess, and why it's just it just makes no sense. Before I get into that, number one, oops, my bad, let me pick that up. So number one, I actually did not do a as if you keep up with my videos, you know that I did not do a what's it called, Black Music Weekend video this weekend. I had a lot of stuff I needed to do and a lot of stuff that I still need to do. I had every intention on making it, and I was like almost done with it, but it was kind of bad, so I just decided to delete it. But yeah, I still plan on doing that. It just will probably, I might do 2 of those this weekend because I really want to talk about Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer, and I just really want to talk about it, and then I'll figure out something else to listen to this week. So there's that. I might do a video this week about, you know what, I'm not going to do a video on him because I'm not going to give him any more shine than he deserves. Even though people are putting the spotlight on him, I'm not going to give him shine. I'm not going to allow his rhetoric to have a platform to come from. So I will not be talking about him. I thought I was going to, but I just thought about it, so yeah. Okay, now back to the video. So, Dancing with the Stars, season 26, week 1 of the athlete season. Up first of all, it was very corny. The opening, well, not the opening was fine. I would say that just the way that they've structured everything, Tom and Aaron with the sports desk, like they do on ESPN, and the whole jumbotron that had the point score total on it. It was all just very corny, and I definitely could have gone without that. Like, we know it's the athlete season, and if you wanted to do that, at least be smarter with how you were going to go with the cutesy type thing. So anyway, did that. Up first we have Chris and Whitney. They had a salsa, and they got a score of 21, I believe. Yeah, it was 21. I thought Chris did a good job. I was a little worried at the very beginning of it. He looked like it was going to be bad, but he settled into the dance. He really got into it. He really worked it well. He stayed on time for the most part. He did great with the lifts. His technique could use some work. There's only so much that these athletes are going to be able to do within the 4 weeks. His technique could use some work, but I mean, Whitney's willing to work with him. Whitney's been good, was good last season, was good the season before. What was the season before? Was she good the season before? Who did she have? That she was good the season before, I remember. She's been good. She's going to be good with him. He's got a great personality, a lot of charm, a lot of charisma. Literally everything you need to be successful in this show, and he has potential. So I'm excited to see how far he goes. He'll probably make it to the finals, just given the type of person he is, or the type of contestant he is. So yeah, they got a 21. I thought it was a very good score, great way to start the night. I thought it was fun and I enjoyed it. Up next, they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, NBA legend. Chris Madser, or however you pronounce his last name. He is the first American to medal in luge. at the Winter Olympics. So he did that this year. So anyway, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was up next at number 2 with Lindsay, NBA legend. He had a cha-cha. He got a score of 17. I thought he did just fine. He did a lot better than I was expecting. He actually has rhythm. He he didn't do a lot, but what he did do, he has rhythm. He has he can still dance. When he actually did do things, it was really good. It was really fun. It was really just like it was really just like great to watch when he did things, and that happened more towards the end of the dance. I want them to kind of do more as they move on. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to last. He did make it through last night, which was expected. I'm not sure if he'll be able to have the juice to make it through this week, because he is at the bottom of the leaderboard, and with the fact that it's a double elimination every single week, you know, you have to beat 2 people instead of just 1 person. So I'm not sure if he'll be able to make it, but I am looking forward to watching their next dance, their next 2 dances, because next week they have 2 dances, which one of them was a team dance. So yeah, I thought the score was just fine. Yeah, up next was Jenny Finch, a softball player who won gold at the Olympics in 2008, I want to say, with her team, with the U.S. team. It was part of like the greatest softball team ever. And then she's paired with Keo. They had a foxtrot. They got a 20 for it, I think. Was it a 20? Yeah, they got a 20 for it. I thought the dance was fine. Jenny has a lot of potential. I could tell she was extremely nervous. You could tell that her nerves kind of took over this week, which understandable. You know, it's the first week, everybody gets nervous. There's usually a few people whose nerves kind of overshadow what they can actually do. So I think she was one of those people. You could tell she just was really stiff and was like really just like grabbing on, not grabbing on, but yeah, kind of grabbing on to Keo and just kind of muscling her way through and just trying to force her way to the end of the dance, just to get it over with, to have it done. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It just, there's just, her nerves were just a big issue there. She did everything else pretty well. I will have to critique Keo's his choreography, as I felt it was way too choppy for a foxtrot. I needed him to smooth things out a bit. But otherwise, I like her. I like them. I hope they make it through next week. I don't see them make it past week 3 though, but I would like to at least see them make it to the 3rd week. And what did she get? I think she got a 21. She got a 21. Yeah. Then up next was Jamie Anderson, a snowboarder, and Artem. They had a Viennese waltz. They got a 20, I believe, or no, they got a 19. Yeah, they got a 19, and I thought this dance was all right. It wasn't terrible. She was very nervous as well. She was pretty much running through the dance. You could see like she didn't have the same movement quality that you see usually with a Viennese waltz. Is very steppy through all of it, which I could tell she was nervous. Her posture also wasn't very good. It's unfortunate she's not going to have another week to I guess settle and really fill out the dance and all that stuff, and I guess be used to the live performance aspect of the show. So I would like to see how she would do after she's used to everything. But you know, you have you have this whole thing with the live voting thing. And it's unfortunate that she was one of the people, but I kind of figured she would be. one of the people to get eliminated. It's sad, but you know, it had to be someone, and she was probably at the top of my list for people to get eliminated. So yeah, up next was Mirai Nagasu, and who is an Olympic figure skater, and she won, was it bronze this year or silver? I don't know, but she's been to more than one Olympics. And Alan, they had a salsa and they got a 23. Should have been a 24. She's very, very good. I think her issues are kind of with not her technique, but like the little things outside of the technique. Her head does some weird things with the music, and in her legs kind of it's almost like her legs weren't doing anything wrong per se, but they were just, there's something off about them. It felt like she was like, just the way that she was moving them felt off. And while it didn't detract from the overall, just like her foot placement or hip action and all that, it didn't really detract from that. I could look at her legs and see like, okay, so it felt like she was more bent over than she should have been. Hopefully Alan works on that, but that was something I saw with her. But yeah, 23, they should have gotten a 24, should have been tied at the top of the leaderboard. Yeah, I thought they did good. Up next was Arike. I'm not going to pronounce it. I'm not going to do her last name just because I don't want to be rude and insensitive and pronounce it wrong, and I don't have it sitting in front of me, her last name, so I can't like sound it out. But her last name starts with an O, and she's an NCAA athlete, Division I basketball for Notre Dame, I believe, and she actually hit the winning shot in the last 2 women's basketball games during the playoffs. And she was the reason why they won the championship this year. So, you know, pretty big deal. Especially if you watch the NCAA sports and things. She's a pretty big deal this year. I think this dance was the most surprising to me. The reason why is because I just didn't know what to expect with the NCAA having the rules it does about, you know, not being able to make money off of yourself, and the lack of like, you can't really do things outside of the NCAA because then you will be considered a professional athlete and not a amateur athlete, and therefore you're not eligible to play college level sports anymore, collegiate level sports. It's silly, it's dumb, it's stupid. There's a whole debate going on about it and whether or not you know, these athletes should get a little more, have the ability to do some of these things, because they miss out on opportunities, and then those of them who aren't going into professional sports and whatever are kind of set up on the path of failure, because there's a lot of time you have to take out of your life to do, not set on a path of failure per se, but set on to be behind everybody else who wasn't a Division I athlete, or, you know, just NCAA period. Anyway, her salsa, they got a 20 for it. She's with Gleb. And I actually really enjoyed this dance. I was shocked. I didn't know how good she was going to be. But she was actually really good. She's a great mover. She's a natural dancer. You could tell she was definitely like right on the beat. Definitely just like, she really felt the music, and she was really having fun. It looked like she was having a great time, and as a result, I had a good time watching her. And I was really hoping that she was going to have a good time, because I was like, I really want you to do well, because I just really want you to do well. I just want you as a black woman to do well, you know. I want to see the black people do well. Sue me. But anyway, yeah, she did well. I actually thought that she could have gotten a 21. I would say that she probably got that point taken off because that extra point taken off because she didn't have heels on. I actually think it would have been better if she had had heels on. I don't know what Gleb's issue is and why he's not forcing her to put on heels. But he should be able to force her to wear heels at least in some point. I mean, their first practice should have been like him teaching her how to walk in heels, because it's kind of necessary for her to be able to walk around in heels to do it. So for him to, I don't know if he like expected her to put the heels on and just be able to dance, because in the package, if she said she can't walk in heels, then he should have just basically did like 2-3 hours of just them walking in heels and doing basic things in heels for their very first practice. But you know, what do I know? I'm not a professional dancer. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm excited to see what they do next week. Yeah. Up next was Adam and Jenna. Adam Rippon, who was also a figure skater, Olympic medalist. I think he got a bronze this year. And Jenna, they had a cha-cha, and they did pretty good. I wasn't expecting anything less than good from Adam and Mirai. I think, in my opinion, I feel like Mariah is the better technician of the two. I think Adam is the showier one of the two, the more the better showman. I think my issue with this cha-cha is, one, I think he kind of, the way he places his arms are so it's not what we're used to seeing. And it's so, how do I say? It feels like he's skating when he's placing his arms. Oh, I got like an Evan Lysacek type of vibe from him, where he's just kind of very much just airy and just like kind of not grounded like he should be, especially in a Latin dance. It just felt like he wasn't as grounded as he needed to be to get the full effect of a Latin dance. Which is part of the reason why I never really cared for Evan's Latin dances, and I did not, while this was good, I didn't really truly care for Adam's cha-cha. I think if Jenna can just get him to kind of just like ground himself more and just be kind of just, I don't know, just have it come, I don't know how I'm trying to say this. Just have it feel more natural, the dancing, because it felt so rehearsed almost. Just have it come more naturally, and I think I'll really enjoy it. It was a good dance. It was a very, very good dance. Definitely deserved a 24. It just, I did notice that, and I just want her to ground him more. But that type of movement will be amazing for ballroom dances. So I'm excited to see if they do have a ballroom dance next week. I'm excited to see what they're able to do for that, because I think he'll be really good with that. And that'll be more up his alley than Latin dance. We are almost done. Who else do we have? Johnny, Damon, and Emma were not last, 8. They had what was it? A foxtrot. Johnny Damon is a baseball player. He's a 2-time World Series winner, I believe. He's played with a bunch of different baseball teams. He was also on the Celebrity Apprentice some years ago. He and Jamie Anderson were on the same team. Fun fact, not team, season of the Celebrity Apprentice before what's his face ran for office. Anyway, so yeah, Johnny Damon and Emma were up. They had a foxtrot. They got an 18. It was probably the worst dance of the night, technically speaking. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't very good, and I don't think he would have gotten much better. He just feels very awkward out on the floor. Dancing definitely isn't something that comes naturally to him, you can tell. His hold was off, his footwork was off. But he was happy and excited and just really living the moment. So you can't really fault him for that. And I'm glad that he at least had fun, because it was his first and only dance on the show. Well, first and last dance on the show. And yeah, I'm glad he had fun. But yeah, I think he probably was the right choice to leave, because I don't think there would have been much to get out of him. But yeah, that's it for them. Up next was Tanya Harding and Sasha. Tanya is a former figure skater. She's kind of the subject matter of I, Tanya, the movie that just came out. Allison Janney won the Oscar for supporting actress for the movie. I haven't watched it, but I know a lot of her backstory. Know that she's kind of like poor and very much underprivileged. I know she was like the first American woman to ever land a triple axel in figure skating, so that's good. There's a lot of things. There's a whole thing with Nancy Kerrigan. Nancy said she's over it, and while at the very first I'm like, it kind of is a slight to Nancy, her casting. I'm like, you know what, Xavier, just let her come in and do what she needs to do. And I was like, okay. And I'm just allowing her to, be who she is, allowing her to be Tanya, allowing her to dance, giving her a fair shot. That was a long time ago that she did it, and from what I understand, it wasn't exactly her fault anyway. She was involved with it, but it wasn't exactly her fault. So I'm willing to give her a shot and, just listen to her and whatever. Now, she got a 24. I think that her score for her Foxtrot, I think her score was maybe a couple of points too high. I would have probably given her a 22. But that's not to say that it wasn't a very, very, very good dance. It was a very good dance. And with everything that surrounds her, you almost forget that she was a figure skater. But you definitely saw that in that dance. You saw how lyrical she can be. And even though people were talking about the fact that she's not a very, when she was a figure skater, she wasn't a very lyrical type of skater. You definitely were able to see just how gorgeous her lines are, and just how smoothly she danced, really. It definitely was like she was on ice, just gliding. And yeah, it was just it was very good. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see her growth. I think Sasha is the perfect partner for her. I think they'll be great. So I know people aren't gonna like what I said about her, but whatever. I said what I said, and I'm sticking by it. Up next we had, Josh Norman, football player for the Washington Racist Names, and I will not say that team's name. And then his partner Sharna, they had a cha-cha, they got a 24. Amazing. His energy is magnetic. He is super charismatic. He's really good. He's another football player that's just a great dancer. And he has a lot of, as Courtney on Pure pointed out, he has qualities from a bunch of different football players that kind of make him who he is and make him good. And I'd have to agree. Yeah, I can't really say much else. I think a lot of people think Adam is the one to beat. I don't think Adam's the one to beat. I think, personally, I feel like Josh is the one to beat. I think he is definitely, if he keeps dancing like this, there's only 4 weeks. I think he's going to be the one to beat. Especially with the fact that people don't really like ringers, unless you're just killing it in every sensible word, like the way that Jordan was. And even then, it took Lindsay kind of faltering at the end to put Jordan over the edge. Unless you have that thing going for you as a ringer, I don't see the ringers winning too much right at this moment. You have to have some sort of circumstances outside of it, your control, going in your favor. So yeah, I think Josh is the one to beat. And I will be very happy. Sharna has had 2 mirror balls snatched from her. And while I'm not a person who wants the pro to win, I would be very, very happy to have Sharna win after having 2 mirror balls snatched from her. That should have been hers, season 18 and season 23. Yeah, that's it. They got a 24, tied at the top of the leaderboard. As I said, Jamie and Johnny were eliminated. To no fault of their own, it just had to do with a popularity contest at that point. When you have half the country who's able to vote for you while watching your dances, the other half of the country, and I happen to be part of the other half, who we didn't have the ability to watch the performances and then vote. We had to just vote based on what we hoped, who we wanted to see go through. And at that point, it just becomes a popularity contest. I mean, it's already a popularity contest, but even more so. That's annoying. I don't like the fact that this is a 4-week season. I think that they probably should have just cut it all together. I guess it's nice because we got a bunch of celebrities that we probably wouldn't get for a full-length season, so that's nice. But they should have just cut it. And since they are bringing American Idol back, I believe next year, they should just cut the spring season period, because I also read that the ratings were down by 40%. You know, that's just not good. It's just not good. Just, you know, finish out this season and don't do another spring season if you're going to keep throwing all your money into American Idol, because you could also see like the budget cuts and stuff, and it's whatever. So yeah, that's kind of the way that things went. Let me know how you all feel. I'm trying to not hide my mouth. And yeah, I will talk to you all very, very soon. Have a nice day or whatever. Bye.